Boys, it's finally here, my top 20 designer list for spring 2012. Finally compiled my 20 fragrances. Finally. I know a lot of you have been waiting. It's hard to compile a list from year to year. Spring in Canada. I'm going to do a short rundown of what spring is in Canada, and we're going to run down the list. Now, spring here, of course, is a season of transition. You know, you've had your heavy winter, the snow starts melting, you get a little more sun during the day. You still get cold days, like today. I got my sweater on. It rained this morning, but you're getting a lot of wind. My windows are open, getting lots of wind. It's a cool day, but tomorrow might be plus 25, plus 30 Celsius. So you never know what you're gonna get. It's a transition period. There might be, you know, a lot of rain, might be overcast. So this is the time that I love wearing green fragrances, versatile fragrances, the ones that are right in the middle. Some that I can wear in the winter, but also some that I can wear in the summer. They're in the middle of the road, not too heavy, but not too light. A lot of people love bringing out their citruses and their aquatics in the spring. I love doing it different. I can wait till summer to bring out my aquatics and my citruses. I love doing it different. I love bringing out my green fragrances, my florals, my soapy fragrances. You know, the flowers out there are coming out, the green grass is springing up. So I really want to do a little something different, and you're going to see that in this list. There's a little bit of something for everyone. There's top sellers in this list. There's fragrances that never made any of my top 20 lists in here. There's some that are under the radar. There's a little bit of everything for everyone here. Now, don't get me wrong, this is not the top 20 ultimate list for spring. It changes from year to year for me. This is my personal taste from my personal collection. This is what I'm wearing this spring. You're going to see a lot of fragrances, like I said, that never made any of my top 20 lists that are highly regarded, top sellers. Dior never made any of my top 20 lists. It will make this spring list. Also, another top seller, L'Odyssée pour Homme, will finally make a top 20 list on my channel. Bulgari's Aqua also will make my top 20 this year. Also, I pride myself on getting fragrances that are straight left field. Some fragrances that nobody maybe even heard of, or maybe they're not even in the men's game. We got Bulgari's Eau Parfumée Thé Violet, an absolutely great springtime fragrance. Also have Lalique's, no, not Lalique White, which a lot of people are absolutely loving this time of year. No, I'm gonna go with Eau de Lalique, a great springtime fragrance. I think this one's a lot better for the spring than Lalique White. All right, let's get to the list. Let's tackle it. Let's go with number 20. Number 20 is one of my all-time favorite fragrances ever. I've been wearing this fragrance since I was a little boy. This is a fragrance that usually I tout on my channel to be more of a fall-time fragrance. I always say that it's a fall and winter based fragrance, but this is great in the spring, guys. I'm going back to my roots, and this is Jean-Paul Gaultier's Le Male Lavender Mint Vanilla. This is great for a day like today. I got my sweater on, it's a little cooler, there's a lot of wind. The mint and the lavender is the note of today right now. A lot of people are looking for lavender based fragrances. I absolutely hate lavender fragrances. Funny enough, this is one of my all-time favorites. Funny. But Le Male never made a spring top 20 list. This is his first time in the list at number 20, and it should be in the spring list. I really think that Le Male is great in the spring. So very slept on for the spring on my list. Let's have some coffee, and I'm going to introduce number 19. Number 19 is from the house of Dior. Christian Dior has 3 fragrances in this top 20 list, so they did very well. 2 of them are from the Fahrenheit brand. Yes, you heard me right. This one at number 19, Aqua Fahrenheit. Ever since I put my nose on this fragrance, grapefruit start with the original Fahrenheit in the background. It's watery, yet has enough backbone to really get used in this springtime. So if it gets warm, this thing's great, but let's say it starts raining all of a sudden, this fragrance will still push through. So this fragrance is great for that transitional springtime. At number 19, Aqua Fahrenheit, a great fragrance for the springtime for me. At number 18, this is a classic fragrance We all know it very well. This is from the house of Yves Saint Laurent. This is their only fragrance in this top 20 list. At number 18, we got YSL's the original L'Homme. L'Homme. It's fresh, yet it's spicy. It's versatile, it's signature scent worthy. Ginger, fresh opening, some florals in here. Great for the spring, great for the spring. I like wearing it in the fall, kind of like Le Male, and I kind of like overlook it for the spring. No, can't do it. Number 18, L'Homme, finally making this list again. Let's take a look at number 17. Number 17 is one of those underrated fragrances that doesn't get much love on YouTube. I gotta review this bad boy. Eau de la Lique is at number 17. Eau de la Lique is green dill. Oh yeah, this is a green fragrance. Mixed with some spice, some woods, a lot of citrus up front. A little bit of tea in here, some florals once it dries down. Very nicely done from La Lique. I really think that this is the one right under Encre Noire as my second favorite La Lique fragrance. Definitely a springtime fragrance. Very highly regarded by me. At number 17. 16 is a classic fragrance. Never made any of my top 20 lists. And it's not my favorite from the house. You guys all know that I love the summer edition of this fragrance back in 2009. I'm always saying 2009, get 2009. This one, the classic L'Odyssée pour Homme. This is a highly versatile fragrance, guys. I'm not a huge fan of it, you guys know, but just going back to this fragrance, this is great for the spring. A very calming, very versatile fragrance. It's beautiful. Yuzu citrus right off the bat. It's very safe. It dries down to a floral mid, so that you might be careful, guys that don't like florals. For me, floral is great in the springtime, and this is an absolute gem in the springtime. I gotta put it in the list at number 16. Welcome to one of my top 20 lists, finally, L'Odyssée. All right, number 15. This is from Hermès. Hermès has this little line called a Jardin line. This is Un Jardin sur le Nil. By Mr. Jean-Claude Elena. This fragrance, guys, a mango grapefruit start with a watery like lotus leaf dry down. Absolutely gorgeous for the spring. It's fruity, it's watery, not totally aquatic, just watery like swampland almost. Lotus leaf, beautiful mid in this one. Absolutely gorgeous. A little goes a long way with Jardin sur le Nil. Don't spray too much. Trust me, the name and the scent itself, you kind of think that it's light. It's definitely not light. Jardin sur le Nil, absolutely crazy in the springtime at number 15. 14 is my first fragrance that made it last year's list at number 10 last year. This is from the House of Thierry Mugler. This is Mugler Cologne. As you can see, I've worn quite a bit of this one. Mugler Cologne, fresh, clean, soapy. One of the better soapy fragrances on the market today. It's unisex, it's versatile, it's safe. I wear it daily. It's basically steam clean, very clean fragrance. Very soapy though. Very nice for the springtime. All right, let's take a look at number 13. Now this is a fragrance that hasn't made any of my top 20 lists. A shame, guys. It's a shame that it's never made any of my top 20 lists. It's going to change today. It's from the House of Bulgari, and this is Bulgari Aqua, their classic fragrance. This is their top seller in the men's section. This fragrance should have made a top 20 list a long time ago, but today it's a citrus aquatic-like start, but darkens with an herbal, salty-like feel. Floral, great for a rainy day. One of my favorites for a rainy day, and that's funny enough that it never made any of my springtime lists, but going back to basics, and that's what happens. I find something that I'm like, holy shit, this is one of my favorites. How did it not make a top 20 list? Bulgari Aqua at number 13, a solid spring fragrance. At number 12, let's take a look. This is my second Dior bottle in this list. This is again from the Fahrenheit brand. I believe this guy has never made a top 20 list either. This is Fahrenheit 32. Now Fahrenheit 32, why is it great for the spring? It's fresh. It's got a green, fruity, and creamy a little bit. It might trick you in giving you a little bit of a coconut feel. And it's floral and vanilla in the background of this fragrance. You get a little bit of that Fahrenheit, the original, but not as much. It's almost like the polar opposite. Very, very nice. From Fahrenheit 32, definitely check that one out in the spring. All right, number 11. Again, this is a first timer in one of my top 20 lists. This is again from the House of Bulgari. They're doing very well in this top 20 list, and this is, of course, the one, the only Au Parfumé Tape Vibe. I highly recommend this for spring, guys. Don't get too scared that this is in the women's aisle, okay? It's green tea, citrus, a little bit of florals. It's sparkling right off the bat. It's light, but it has a little smokiness from the tea once it dries down on your skin. Absolutely great. A man can wear this. Jean-Claude Elena, I believe, has made this back in 93 or 92. Gorgeous scent. As you can see, I've worn quite a bit of it. Very, very highly regarded by me in the springtime. I'm surprised that it has not made any of my top 20 list as of yet. Let's hit the top 10. I'm gonna have coffee. Number 10. Yes. All right, let's hit the top 10, boys. Let's take a look at number 10. Number 10 was number 1 last year. Huge drop. This is from the House of Tom Ford. This is Grey Vetiver. Now, Grey Vetiver, an upscale fragrance. Now, don't get me wrong. Vetiver of most fragrances is for a more mature man. With this fragrance, I don't think there is a age group for this one. I really see a young professional wearing this, but an older gentleman can pull it off too. It's cooling. It's got some warming qualities too. Great for spring. Absolutely gorgeous for spring. I think it's made for spring. Grey Vetiver, absolutely gorgeous. At number 10, just because it's at number 10 and not number 1 this year does not mean it's not a great springtime fragrance. It is top 10 worthy. At number 9, last year was at number 3, so this one dropped also. This is from the House of Guerlain, and this is Guerlain the original Mojito Vibe. Lime, mint, cooling, great for casual use or an upscale event. Yeah, this is absolutely gorgeous. Definitely can be worn at any time, daily, at night. Versatile is the name of the game with Guerlain. You can wear it upscale and dress down. Great for spring. At number 8, we got the one from last year. This one was number 4. This is from the House of Marc Jacobs. This is Marc Jacobs for men. It's the fig-based fragrance. Now, figs, I'm kind of cooling down on figs this year. Last year, I absolutely love them. Still high up in my echelon. Creamy, coconut-like vibe, which figs kind of does in some fragrances. So it's very good for the warming days. A little bit of floral in the mid. So again, people that are scared of florals, you might not want to wear this in the mid. It's perfect for a warm spring day, this one. Very, very nicely done by Marc Jacobs. Now let's take a look at number 7. Number 7 is from the House of Hermes. They got a second bottle now. This one last year made at number 6. Dropped down a spot, and this is, of course, Terre d'Hermes. This is the EDT, by the way. Terre d'Hermes, earthy, dirty orange. When the ground is wet, this one's great. Yeah. This is highly versatile too. I wear this all year round. Good for a signature scent. Good for the office. Terre d'Hermes, a solid scent, especially during fall and springtime. A very, very good one. At number 7. At number 6, it's a newcomer. Top seller from the House of Christian Dior, of course. You guys know. First time in the top 20 this year. For me, Dior this is the original formulation. This is florals, powdery, upscale, iris-based fragrance. There's a little bit of citrus off the top. Very, very nicely done. Again, an upscale fragrance for those cooler spring days or nights. I really think that if you're wearing a suit, this one would go against, your Grey Vetivers. And so a great upscale fragrance at number 6. All right, top 5. Number 5 is from the House of D Squared. This one did not drop out of the top 10. Was number 9 last year. Went up a few spots this year at number 5. And this is Rocky Mountain Wood. It's my favorite from the He Wood line, and just reminds me of the outdoors. Woods, rocks, florals. I wear this casually, to be honest, in the spring. Day or night, doesn't really matter. I really wouldn't wear this upscale or with a suit. I really like wearing this with a pair of shorts or something like that. Great outdoorsy feel. Great for like a barbecue or something like that, or a picnic or something like that. Rocky Mountain wood, great. This one's probably for a cooler day, just because it does bring out a little bit of spice and woods in there. So at number 5, Rocky Mountain wood. Number 4, I believe this is his first appearance in the top 20 also. This is from the house of Kenzo. A lot of people shy away from the Kenzo house, but they do have some great fragrances. This one I absolutely love in the springtime. This one called Kenzo Power. Now Kenzo Power, a creamsicle, guys. And that's what it reminds me of when I smell it. A creamy citrus-like a fragrance. And there's a hint of citrus and green at the start of this fragrance, some white florals, a little bit of spice. This is for the Dior Homme lovers out there. If you like Dior Homme, you will like this. It's not guaranteed, but I believe they're really close together. I really think this one is much better for the spring than Dior Homme, to be honest with you. A solid fragrance from the house of Ken. Time to tackle my top 3. We're going to take a look at 3 great springtime fragrances. These are my favorites in the designer game this year, 2012. Let's go. At number 3, can't go without a Chanel. Now everybody's loving the new Eau Extrême Chanel. For me, sadly, it's not in my collection as of yet. For me, the springtime fragrance from Chanel will and always will be, for now. Number 8 last year, number 3 this year is Édition Blanche. Now, Édition Blanche, of course, gives you that lemon cream pie. This is great for spring because it's got a little more depth than your run-of-the-mill citrus-based fragrance, and this is what I absolutely love from this one. It's a little thicker, but it's great for those warming and also cooling days for spring. Very versatile, signature scent worthy, well done fragrance by Chanel. Sadly, is going to be sold only in Chanel boutiques now. But definitely something that I would highly recommend for people to snatch up if you see a bottle. At number 2 is from the house of Gucci, and this is one of the older Gucci fragrances, of course. This one last year made it on my list at number 7. I'm getting like a renewed love of the older Gucci fragrances. You know that Gucci Pour Homme made my number 1 winter this year, or last year we'll say. This one, Gucci Pour Homme 2, is making the list at number 2. Almost made number 1. Tea-based, tea-dominant based fragrance. Some spice, but not too much. Absolutely great for the office, especially if you have an air-conditioned office. This thing is absolutely great then. It's very versatile, guys. I can wear this every season. Probably one of the best designer tea-based fragrances on the market today. No joke. I absolutely love this thing in the spring. Perfect season for this one at number 2. At number 1, my most worn fragrance for spring. One of my best. I don't think this fragrance has ever squeaked out of the top 5 for spring. Ever since I started doing these top lists, I don't think it ever will. It was number 2 last year. It's holding on strong, and it's holding on to the number 1 spot this year. And this is from the house of Cartier. And this one, I'm absolutely, every time I revisit it for spring, I'm just like, yes, absolutely, springtime roadster. I know some of you are getting tired of me boasting about this fragrance being one of my top spring fragrances, but it is. Beautiful mint. It's a herbal-like mint. It's got that refreshing mint right off the bat. Then it turns into more of an herbal feel to it. Very green, and that's what I'm looking for. Green shirt, green tie, green fragrance, baby. It's a little too thick for the summertime in some cases. In the spring, this is perfect. If it's a little warmer, if it's a little cooler, this guy's going to do the job for me. Very nicely done by Cartier. This is a mint done well, one of the best mint-based fragrances in the designer game. Probably one of the best mint-based fragrances of all time. This thing lasts 8 to 10 hours on my skin. It lasts, it projects. It does everything I ask of it, and it's absolutely gorgeous, and it is very much worthy of my #1 top spot for spring 2012. There it is, guys, my top 20 list. Hopefully you enjoyed. Time to compile the top 20 niche list for spring. Keep it locked in.